Hey everybody, it's ThatGuyRoz. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do a base build video for Valheim today. This base is an underground base or a basement base. It'll have everything you need: a furnace, a kiln, fireplace. You can cook, you can sleep, you can store things, everything you need. I'm super excited. This will be part one of 3, maybe 4, hopefully 3 videos, where first we start out by building the basement. In the second video, we're going to move on to finishing that basement, putting a roof on it. And then in the third and maybe the fourth video, we'll build out the base on top so that you have an area over top of your basement to farm and to portal to other locations in Valheim. I'm super excited. And guys, if you really enjoy this video, please do give it a like, give me a follow here on YouTube, click the bell, and also, if you don't mind, give me a follow over on Twitch, on Twitter, and I'm now on TikTok. So I'm super excited to start on TikTok. It's a pretty unique platform. So anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get started. So to start, you can see I have a lot of wood here. It's about 50% of what we gathered. You're going to need this for supporting beams and fencing to keep creatures at bay, and then eventually for other things like boxes and campfires and kilns. So here you can see we started to mine the rocks at this flat peak in the plains. We then began to use our hoe to flatten the terrain as best as possible. It's not that easy, but once you get the hang of it, you'll get the hang of it. I recommend having a lot of stamina, so eat some good food, because when you use the hoe, it will utilize your stamina very, very quickly. And just like the hoe, using a pick will also utilize your stamina very quickly, so it's important that you have good food. One thing we didn't consider was taking off our heavy iron gear and putting on something lighter like troll gear. Also, as you can see, Tragic, my partner in crime here, has a headlamp that we got from the merchant. I highly recommend you grab that if you have trouble seeing in the dark. You can also put torches down or carry a torch as well, but it's just much more efficient if you put this headlamp on. And here you can see we have made major progress with the hole, the basement, if you will, but we have a long way to go. I'd like to quickly interject and thank you for watching the video. If you do enjoy it, make sure that you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, leave a like on this video, and hit the bell so that you're notified when I upload other videos, new videos, like part 2 and 3 of this base build video. I'm also over on Twitch, and I stream usually every Tuesday and Thursday night. I also stream other days, time permitting, and you can also find me on Reddit and TikTok. Thanks again. One quick tip too is, as you're mining, you're going to find yourself at the bottom of your basement, your hole, right? Your underground base. You're as far as you can go down, you're near or at the bedrock. When you're at this point, stop digging from the top of the hole. Make sure you're down in the hole and you dig the walls out sideways. It will remove all of the terrain above you and save you a lot of time. It's the most efficient way to do this. You'll also notice that sometimes as you're doing this, the terrain will be at one elevation, and as you mine a wall out, the terrain will rise back up. That's okay, it's just part of the game. Make sure you pull out your hoe when you're done and flatten all that terrain back down. Also, you're going to notice there's a ton of stone from digging this basement or this underground base out. Make sure that you keep that stone. You're going to use all of it later. I know sometimes it's just a hassle, but it's real easy. Gather 50 and then just put a stone pile down with your hammer. Super quick, super easy, and you'll have all the stone you need. Well, I lied. Maybe you won't have all the stone you need, but you'll have to farm a lot less of it if you do it this way. And here you can see we've made a lot of progress. We dug really far down pretty much as far as we can go down. We hit some water in one spot actually and had to flatten the terrain back up a little bit with the hoe. That's not a problem. I would recommend not building as far down as you can, maybe one layer or one level above that, just to make sure that you don't have water seeping through your floor tiles. Depending on what floor tiles you use or what materials you use to build, it can damage those materials just like rain. And here you can see we are starting to place the floor tiles. You can clip them through the edges of the terrain if you need to try and make it even or to fit your purposes. I highly recommend you take some time and really consider how you want to place these floor tiles. There's no right way or wrong way. You just need to do what works with whatever design you have in mind. We kind of winged it, to be honest, and it turned out really well. Here you're going to see that we placed the furnaces and the kilns on the base floor on the ground, and then we built and clipped the tiles in and around them to kind of save space. We just liked the way it looked this way better than setting the actual furnaces and kilns directly on top of the tiles. There's no reason we did this, we just like the aesthetic. Keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of trial and error here. You're going to see us place and destroy and replace and redestroy things, and the finished product doesn't look exactly like what we started with. That's okay. Play around with it. Do what you think will look good, and as you're building, you may need to deconstruct and reconstruct, and that's okay. Just have fun with it. So here you can see I ported back to our original main base. It's what we call the Manor. It's up in the town Misty Peaks on our server that we made, and it's a really nice base. It took quite a long time to build, but it's out of wood and it's in the starting area, and we wanted to move to the plains just because we liked the way it looked there better, and there's higher level resources, etc., etc. But anyway, you could see I'm gathering some stone that I had been stockpiling actually for quite a long time. Almost since we started, I decided every couple of days I would get maybe 50, 100, 150 stone. And we did use some of it along the way, but a lot of it was available for use when we built this base. Here you can see I'm starting to place the walls too. You can clip the walls into the terrain and into the furnaces, and you may also find that there's going to be some gaps behind those walls that are there because you just didn't dig your basement, your whole, your underground section of your base that perfectly, and that's okay. There's a couple of ways around this. You can either leave those spaces empty, you can fill them in with some walls, extra walls behind the walls you've laid, or you can try and raise them up with the hoe after you've built your base, which is what we ended up doing. A little more complex, but either way, just know that having that gap, that space, all it does is create a fall risk if you're outside of your base and you're running the perimeter. It in no way affects the stability. Here you can see we're laying the second layer of the stone walls around our base. You can really see those gaps now that I was talking about. Again, don't worry about them. You're also going to notice that at points the walls are clipping red through items like the furnaces. Really, that's not them clipping red through the furnaces, that's them clipping red through me, since I'm standing in the area where those walls are trying to be placed. Now I'm starting the chimney. This is really important, and it's not because of what you think. In the underground basement section of your base, having a kiln or having a furnace will not cause smoke to hurt your character. You will not have too much smoke in the area. What happens though is if you build a base section on top of your basement, above ground, and you have space to walk over those kilns and fireplaces and furnaces, it will smoke your character out. And so it's important that you still build some sort of chimney system. In part 2, you will see what we did as a stopgap before we built the top layer of our base. But then in part 3, you'll see what we ended up with, and it was really creative. Tragic actually came up with it, and it's a really cool idea. Hey everyone, thanks for watching part 1 of the Valheim basement build guide. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you give me a subscribe on YouTube, a like on the video, hit the little bell. Also go ahead and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm also over on Reddit and I post there periodically. Really appreciate it, everybody. Thanks. Goodbye.